and blood is all I will give in return.
A legendary hero robbing the rich and giving to the poor, living among his merry men in Sherwood Forest, Nottinghamshire. This is the version of Robin Hood we grew up with, and Hollywood has milked the English folktale quite a bit too. However, it's time to embrace a grittier side of Robin Hood, because Michael Sarnoski is ready to throw light on how the violent past of this messiah catches up with him in his final days. Penned by Sarnoski, the movie attempts to offer a dark adaptation of the 17th century ballad, Robin Hood's Death, and he has roped in none other than Hugh Jackman in the titular role. The first teaser trailer of the movie has dropped recently, and here's everything we know about this somber aspect of Robin Hood's life. Firstly, what was the ballad all about? Robin Hood's Death is one of the oldest tales to exist on the character, and there are two versions of it. One of them, from Percy Folio, revolves around how Robin Hood wishes to go to the Churchleys and get himself bled, and encounters an old woman early on in the journey who curses Robin Hood. Whatever is left on the next fragment tells us that Robin Hood appears to be reassuring someone who has warned him that he's going to his death, and we can see a little later that he has been stabbed. In the end, he asks his companions to carry him to his grave and bury him in a very specific way, surrounded by the symbols of his life as an archer and outlaw. In the second version, the mysterious figure Robin Hood meets on his journey is removed, and the role of Red Roger appears. The blame for Robin Hood's death falls more clearly on the prioress, who not only bleeds him excessively, but also deliberately locks him in a room for a whole day. Before dying, he shoots a final arrow and asks to be buried where it lands. Now, either version is pretty dark, and Sarnoski getting ready to bring it to life guarantees that we're in for some serious thrilling sequences. I mean, the man has made movies like Pig and A Quiet Place Day One, and from the trailer, it feels like the death of Robin Hood has quite some influences from Sarnoski's previous movies. In the first trailer, the filmmaker's approach to the material is pretty clear. As the film's logline states, he was no hero. Now, I'm assuming that Sarnoski has taken details from the first version because the trailer opens with Robin Hood speaking to a mysterious woman, played by Jodie Comer. He admits that whatever people think of him are all lies. The glorifying words mean nothing, and there's much more to him than what meets the eye. The lines are spoken over images of Robin Hood dragging one of his victims before disposing of him in a shallow grave. That means Sarnoski is taking a direct dig at our childhood beliefs of who Robin Hood is and dissecting it in the most brutal way possible. Robin Hood confirms that all the stories about him that made him a beloved outlaw in the minds of millions, including readers and moviegoers, are nothing but a well-colored myth. The real Robin Hood is probably someone who can barely stomach, let alone love. The trailer shows Robin Hood in an aggressive state of mind where he himself has stopped believing in the lies he crafted for the people and chosen blood. To quote him, "The world cares only about blood, and blood is all I will give in return." Jackman does a brilliant job at setting our expectations about what we'll see. A man who has mercilessly stolen both the property and lives of others, and does not match the familiar legend we've been told so often. He now finds himself severely injured after a battle, and in the care of an unknown woman, with one last shot at salvation. The trailer is unapologetically violent and moody to an extent, reminding me of Jackman's 2017 movie Logan, which too had a strong redemption arc. However, the quick flashes of Robin Hood's life tell us that Sarnoski is taking a historical tone and will be shifting between timelines. The director told Entertainment Weekly, "There's an old quote about Robin that sort of says he's this murderous bandit who the common folk have decided to glorify, and I wanted to examine someone who was going through that in their lifetime and try to grapple with the role of storytelling and their actual identity." He sure is taking a leap in his attempt to reimagine a bright fable by overshadowing it with Robin Hood's murderous crimes. Jackman's appearance too has been created in a manner to fit his battered soul, and this Robin Hood looks like a physically and mentally drained wild man in beautiful barren mountains. Of course, Jack's beard and hair have caught our attention, but the director claimed, "You'll be seeing some of Hugh's muscle-bound physique. It's probably more intense than you're expecting." Jackman is having a great run with his last docudrama, Song Sung Blue, earning 77% on Rotten Tomatoes. And now, he's ready to unveil the bloody truth of a century-old hero. And no, this one's not going to follow an anti-hero genre either. It's a painful dismantling of a fantasy tale. Jackman shared in another interview with Entertainment Weekly, "What I love so much about Mike's vision of Robin Hood is that the script delivered power, and it examines how power can be used for good or bad. Robin Hood is a real man in our story, with all the scars, the pain, the regret, and yes, the love. Mike's story has weight to it. For me, it's beautiful and human." The Emmy-winning actress Jodie Comer has tapped into the revisionist vibe of this film, and right from the start of the trailer, has been a perfect supporting character who helps build the claustrophobic atmosphere of the film. However, the director has confirmed that she will not be playing the role of Maid Marian. Arthurian. Rather, she introduces Robin to another side of life, and the distance between those two brings sensitivity to this movie. Sarnoski further spilled that we shot a lot of Jodie's scenes on the north coast of Northern Ireland, which is this really beautiful, gorgeous, expansive area. A different feeling as we get into her world. That explains the stark contrast created by her blue outfit against the grays of the images. Jodie has shared, "I'm really excited." Skarsgård, too, talked about Jodie's character, saying, "She's incredible. Truly one of those people in my generation who feels like the real deal." So it was really nice to get to know her a little bit, even though we didn't have any direct scenes together. There have been many retellings of Robin Hood's story, from Sean Bean's recent MGM Plus series, to Taron Egerton's 2018 film, and Jonas Armstrong's BBC show in the 2000s. But what Sarnoski and his crew are trying to do is break the illusion that has been fed to us for so long. As Robin Hood says, "I've killed so many, I could not give you a count. It's a curse." Sarnoski further revealed that though it's not going to be an action movie per se, it almost gets toward feeling like a war movie. Fighting back in those days was brutal. It wasn't people dancing around and fencing, it was people in the mud trying to crack each other's heads open with a shovel. Joining them is Bill Skarsgård, best known for his performances of Pennywise the Clown on It and It Chapter 2, and recently for his role as Count Orlok in Nosferatu. He would be playing a version of Little John, and Sarnoski explained that we're not sure if Skarsgård will be playing an antagonist, but whatever it is, he has a complex arc to portray. The actor shared with Moviezine.se that he was thrown into the shooting of the Gothic period drama without any break after finishing the shooting of Dead Man's Wire. He's praised Jackman a lot for how comfortable the latter made the filming process and expressed his hopes about the film, saying, "I think it could be cool." The rest of the cast too has powerful names like Noah Jupe and Murray Bartlett. Murray Bartlett followed his Emmy-winning role in The White Lotus with major parts in The Last of Us and Welcome to Chippendales. His upcoming films include A24's Opus and At the Sea, where he stars alongside Amy Adams. Noah Jupe, on the other hand, has developed a strong portfolio at a young age, with roles in series like The Night Manager, the A Quiet Place horror franchise, and a brilliant performance in Honey Boy. Yeah, we all saw that Independent Spirit Award nomination coming. This film has been a long-time passion for the Wisconsin-born director who fulfilled his dream and shot on 35mm film for the first time, which he says has made the project a lot better. There's a charge that it gives you. We're burning film right now. This is the real deal. There's something about being in real epic, scopy locations, shooting on film that feels like you're capturing something. However, he mentioned that Robin Hood's story is not going to be a completely new tale. In his words, there are 5 early ballads of Robin Hood that were first written, as the story was passed down as oral tradition, and they're really brutal. He's portrayed as a hero of the common man, but they're still somewhat horrifying in the way that old folktales are. The film is being backed by Aaron Ryder, Andrew Sweat, and Alexander Black. Pat Scola, who previously worked with Sarnoski on the last 2 films, is returning as the director of photography. Editing will be handled by Andrew Monshine, who's best known for his work on A Quiet Place Day 1 and The Sixth Sense. The Death of Robin Hood is ready to hit theaters on June 19, 2026 under A24's banner, and I absolutely can't wait to see Sarnoski and Jackman carry forward the character-driven take on Robin Hood. Alright guys, that's all for today. This new teaser establishes the idea that this version of Robin Hood will be a much darker story, and honestly, I think it may even feel too unconventional for some fans of the legend. Still, I trust in Sarnoski and his cinematic mastery. Do let us know your thoughts about this new movie in the comments below, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!